I just read Heaven's Warrior, and it was a really interesting book. I really enjoyed it. I picked it up and I ended up reading the whole thing in like a few days because I just couldn't put it down. It was really interesting. I'm not a huge fantasy reader. I haven't read a lot of fantasy. Part of it is because I didn't know if I would enjoy it very much. But I really enjoyed reading this book. I probably my favorite part of it was just the magic rules maybe, or the superpowers or whatever of the characters, the way it all worked. I thought it was a really well explored and well thought out mechanism for the way it worked, and it was really fun to just kind of put yourself in the shoes of the characters and think about how, if I had these abilities or whatever, how I would use them. And I thought that was very clever and unique from what I had read about how the magic or superpowers or whatever works with it. So that was one thing that I really enjoyed about the book. And then another thing that I really liked is like the resiliency of the main character. She's very positive about everything and continues to press forward through hard times. And I thought that was a really cool message from the book about just that resiliency and not giving up and continuing to press forward and self-sacrifice and stuff like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed reading it.
So now you're a guy and the protagonist is a young lady. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes that maybe turns off, male readers. What are your thoughts about that with this book?
Yeah, so I've definitely, I guess I haven't necessarily read a ton of books with female protagonists, but I watch a lot of movies, and that is one thing that I feel like very often when the protagonist is a female, it seems like often they try to like sidestep the story for the sake of proving a point that this is a strong woman and they don't need anything or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to sound sexist because I have seen some very great ones and read some good books with that. But I feel like this book did a really good job. I don't feel like there's any of that like agenda, but the point of the book wasn't that she was female. She just was a female, strong lead character. And I think also the way I'm a father of daughters, and I really liked the way that she was strong. She wasn't like weak, but it wasn't so over the top that like some of these are sometimes. So yeah, I actually really like that aspect of it.
One more question. What would you tell like one of your friends about why they should read this book?
Probably my favorite part of it is just that I grew up thinking about superheroes and superpowers and I think the mechanism in this book of how, I guess it's more magic than superpowers, but it's kind of similar with the way they can use these gifts to do supernatural things. I thought that was a very well explored, like interesting thing to think about. Like still after reading the book, I'm still thinking about how, oh, if you did this and maybe you could try this and then you'd be able to use them for longer without problems. And anyways, I thought that was probably the coolest aspect, and it's kind of deeper than just the book because you can just keep thinking about different ways that could work. It was fun to explore that.
Thank you. And I know you gave this 5 stars, and I appreciate that. But I want people to know you're a real person. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are.
My name is Jacob Olson. Yeah, so I live in Utah. I'm a father of 3 kids. I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And I really like my favorite hobbies are I really like getting out in the mountains and snowboarding, splitboarding. I like when I can make it. I live in Utah right now, but I grew up in California. I like surfing when I can make it to California. I'm a controls engineer, so I write software. And over the last few years, I have been getting a lot more into reading, and especially over the last a little bit less time reading a little bit more nonfiction stuff, typically more sci-fi, but sci-fi or like self-help. Those seem to be the 2 things that I tend to gravitate to the most. But this was cool to read a little bit of fantasy too.
Thanks so much, Jacob. I really appreciate it and taking time to meet with me. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.